Now, the international banking organisations, the large banks, probably don't like you very much, do they?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they don't like being, but they don't like. I think they also, in inner self, they admire it, but they can't do it themselves because their system is grounded on a kind of different kind of philosophy and different kind of procedure, where you have to make the best out of the business you have, so the best buck you make, your shareholders are happy. So you're looking for opportunities where you make the best buck, so you don't go to the poor people. And the system that you run with in the conventional banks don't allow you to go to the poor people, because you cannot run a system without collateral. You can't run a system without your lawyers. So they are stuck with that. What we are promoting, so why don't you come up and adopt our system and attach to your bank? So after all, we want to reach all the people. What I'm suggesting, that the financial system should be inclusive system, not an exclusive system. It should include everybody. None of the human beings should be rejected from financial services. So we have to build a system which can reach out to every single person. But the present system reaches out probably 1/3 of the human population. 2/3 are rejected. So what kind of system is that? Where you reject the 2/3 of the population? And that's a cause why we have so much poverty. Because you need money in your hand. You have to have a pound in your hand to catch another pound. If you don't have the first pound, you never catch the next pound. Nobody gives the first pound in the hands of the poor person. So she becomes a slave. She becomes workers, and only thing she works for you. She doesn't have anything independently. She cannot create a self-employment. So we're saying that, in fact, if you can open the services to the poorest people, they can create their own jobs. They can go ahead with their own life. They can bring out their own initiatives and energy. Come out of poverty by, say, between 4 years to 8 years' time. Once you are in the system for a maximum of 8 years, you'd be out of poverty. And that's what's happening. The process is expediting. We are including many other issues like technology issues. We bring communication technology. We created a cell phone company to bring cell phone to the poorest people in the villages. Yes. And it has become a very popular system because people, the women like to have the cell phone and start the business of the cell phone and so on.
It's incredible, actually. I mean, I was in Bihar, and which is the poorest state in India, and people with literally nothing and mobile phones. It was quite an interesting way. What was interesting about the book was that you do lay the blame for this at very many doors. Now, it was quite interesting about the World Bank and what the World Bank do. Now, for those people who don't understand what the World Bank do, what is their job? I mean, one of their primary purposes is to alleviate poverty.
By definition, by their own admission, by their repeated announcement, the overarching goal of the World Bank is to reduce poverty. So it's not me to tell them. They themselves claim that this is their overarching goal. And I keep saying that, and many people keep saying like me, that you're not doing the job well because the poverty is not being addressed by your programs. Like we mentioned microcredit, and we have been talking about microcredit for the last 31 years. And World Bank presidents and the top officials always admire how good the World Bank, the microcredit is. But if you look at their portfolio, $20 billion a year they lend out to the world. Not even 1% of that money goes into microcredit. So this is one. You see that everybody says microcredit is very helpful in helping people get out of poverty, but World Bank is not anywhere near that.
Why is that?
I have no idea, because I have been dealing with the presidents, each one, successive ones. Jim Wolfenson was very enthusiastic about the microcredit, and he made lots of very enthusiastic announcements about the support to microcredit. But his institution never felt so excited about it. So we never saw that result coming out of that. And his successor, Wolfowitz, he was very enthusiastic about it. I met him several times, and he promised that he would go into it in details. But during his short tenure, he couldn't do that. And now the next one has come. I talked to him also in very elaborate terms. He seemed very enthusiastic about microcredit, but I don't see much response coming from the institution itself. So because I think they are attached to the conventional banking mindset. They cannot get rid of that conventional mindset. You need a different kind of mindset when you come to the poor peoples.
We've got some emails that have come in. Pavan has emailed in to say, I've been thinking about this phenomenon of One Life charities, as me and my wife are planning to set up a non-profit business. It's about time we adopt this model of social business, but how can these businesses work in a capitalist world? How will we get investment from shareholders when they are sure we aren't going to give them any dividends? Does this become charity at the end of the day?
No, it's not a charity because you're designing as a business. So once you create it, it continues. It doesn't die away. It recycles. Money gets coming back to you.
How do you get someone to invest in that if they're
And,
not going to get
to
anything
Pavan,
back?
I would say you have decided. You live in the capitalist society, but you have decided for yourself. All you need to do, find another person like yourself. And I'm sure there are another person like yourself exists. And I always feel that there are many people like me who exist. So we go ahead and do that. And many people will follow the examples that you have created. So you don't have to wait to see how many millions are coming behind you. All you see, do you have a second person or a third person? And we are in business. We don't need millions of people to start something. All it needs only one person. You got yourself one person, yourself, Pavan, and congratulations.